All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Rossum's June Product Update Show. Thank you all for joining us today from wherever you are. For those of you who haven't been with us in the previous product launches, welcome back. You might notice a slight change in the format as we will be covering the improvements that were released over the past few weeks with a sneak peek into what's coming soon. Our team has been hard at work to bring you improvements to improve your and ensure that you have a better experience in using Rossum solutions. So we have several product updates for you today, including one that's truly experience altering, which you will see in action during our demo. With me here today is Jason Albasha. He's our enterprise solutions engineer, and I'm Maya Shin. I'm a product marketing manager here at Rossum. So before we jump in, just a couple of housekeeping notes. So first things first, this webinar will be recorded and shared on Rossum's YouTube channel. So please keep an eye out for that. For later viewing, submit your questions using Q&A or chat at any point. We highly encourage you to do that. And two of our product managers are actually here with us today. They've been working hard on those releases that we will be showing. So Marek and Jan, feel free to say hi in the chat, and they will be here to take any of the questions that are related to their product areas and to answer them live on air. So don't worry also if we don't manage to answer any of your questions, we'll make sure to collect them and follow up within a few days after this webinar. So of course, you can always keep in touch with us at the email at ask@rossum.ai. And I just wanted to mention that this updates that we're showing today are not the only updates that we've been working on over the past few weeks, month. So you can always visit updates page in Rossum. It's on our website, and you can learn there about more features that we've been working on. So let's jump in. Before the demo part, I have a quick introduction to Rossum and just what Rossum is. Rossum is an intelligent document processing platform that takes the document from start to finish, does so fast. Hundreds of companies across a variety of industries use Rossum to power their document processing operations. So feel free to visit our customers' pages on our website to learn more about that. And so with that, let's jump into the newest updates. So first things first, we have our enhanced security for developer partners. So this release really comes in two parts. One part of the new release is that Rossum platform now privately stores developers' proprietary information in extensions. So information such as code that you store in your serverless functions in our extension environment, or your URL in webhooks information will now be stored privately. And Rossum will securely store the access credentials of all users utilizing external integrations with their end platforms. So these credentials are safely stored and not visible to anybody else. This feature is already in production, so everybody can benefit from it. Next up, and this is something we will see in a demo later on, is our Streamlined Data Matching. So this improvement speeds up and automates document validation and allows Rossum AI to populate fields automatically based on pre-identified matching attribute. So data extraction and the matching logic can be configured directly in Rossum. We just use the information such as vendor name, the address, the VAT number, and so on. So information that tends to stay steady and not change from document to document. And that helps the automation, so you don't have to, and people don't have to retype the information. And Rossum AI pre-populates documents and lets you export the data that's pre-populated automatically into the downstream system. So this feature is also now available in production. And as I mentioned, we will see the demo of it a little bit later. So now getting to the highlight of today's event is our new communication automation workflow. So this is a release that is near and dear to us. It's been long in the making. And we will show later today the functionality that is already available right now in trial and in product, so everybody can try it out at any point. And we will also be getting a quick sneak peek into what's coming out tomorrow. So there's readiness and the knowledge about how to leverage the newest additions. So we are introducing a new Rossum experience that allows you to automate communications and avoid manual back and forth. Of course, it's no surprise that very often documents require follow-up, back and forth. Sometimes it's email, sometimes it's chatting around, just making sure that the document is there, that it has all the correct values, that there's no gaps in terms of fields that are important. So today, letting these documents earlier on in the process for people wastes time and effort. People have to go back and forth to get correct or missing data. So with this release, Rossum automates document back and forth, saving time and effort by fixing the errors early in the process. And it also helps people to keep all the records in one place with a two-way email communication. So in order to communicate and to answer an email and to request additional information or request a correction, users don't even have to leave Rossum platform anymore. So another part of this release is the built-in statistics tool. And what it allows teams to do is look at the statistics of the rejections, automated manual rejections breakdown, and improve on their team's processes for rejection and automation insight. So if the team lead, for instance, sees that there's a lot of manual rejection and they all can be generalized under a specific topic, let's say missing field or missing PO number, then this could be automated. So the data clerks or people who are processing information would not have to do that manually. So yeah, this is a quick sum up of what you're about to see. And now I will pass the baton over to Jason, who will take us through the demo of the data matching and the email experience releases. So over to you, Jason.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us today. My name is Jason. I'll be walking you through the features that Maya had mentioned. That includes the data matching and the email functionality. So let's get right to it without further ado. So this, as you're familiar with, is a Rossum dashboard. Here we can see documents waiting to be reviewed. As I said, we'll start with the data matching. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a document. On the right, you see the document. On the left, you see the fields to be extracted. As you can tell, it's already extracted most of these fields. You may notice that this one looks a bit different. And the reason for that is because this information is not in this document. It's being pulled from your database. Now, you can do this through an API integration. For this example, I'm just going to show a simple integration Excel file that's been uploaded. So here you can see the Excel information that's been uploaded. What we're asking Rossum to do here is to take the vendor name, match it to the vendor name in the Excel file here, and then pull out the VAT number, which you can see matches the VAT number here. So that, like we said, very simple, but yet very powerful tool. That's it for the data matching for now, but that gives you a very quick idea of what that looks like. Very simple to set up, and we'll have videos uploaded to our website instructing you how to set this up. Now, moving on to the meat of our product launch, we're very excited to announce our email functionality that's been included in Rossum. So as you can see, these documents arrive through email here. I'm going to go ahead and open it back up. And if you're familiar with Rossum, you'll see something new here. And this is our email box. And really quickly, it shows us a timestamp of when it arrived, who sent it, and how many attachments were in that email. Here we see two of them, which are these two. So going back in, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You can also, so you can click here and you can start a new thread with the customer. It'll automatically fill in the email that it arrived in. And you can just go ahead and reply to them. You can also just reject an email if you see, like, for example, a PO number like is missing, which is a very common case we see. But I'm going to go ahead and click on the email box. And here we can see a thread of the email. So,
Jason, sorry to interrupt. Could you
yes,
just maximize your screen, please?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
People are asking to see it better.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So here we can see that the email thread. So the email arrived. It had two attachments, and an automatic confirmation was sent saying that the email was received. Now, if we go ahead and reject this email, for example, we can see here, it automatically fills in the email that it arrived from. It automatically fills in a subject line, and you can choose a template. So for this one, we're going to pretend like a PO is missing, and you can automatically changes the subject line, automatically changes the body of the email, and we're going to go ahead and send and reject. And so now that email has been rejected. I have one that's already been prepared in the rejected actually right here. So we can see that this one had automation set up on it. So the email arrived, it automatically acknowledged that we received a document. It automatically rejected the email because there was no PO. The PO number was missing, as you can see here. So that was all automated. So now the customer received an email saying that the PO was rejected. If we switch here really quick, this is the email that arrived from Rossum. Hi, sender, I am rejecting this invoice because of the missing PO number. You can include whatever you want. This is just a sample template. And I'm going to go ahead and say, sorry about that. Here's a fresh copy. And I'm going to go ahead and send it with the typo. And so what we'll see happen is this email will arrive to Rossum. And the email will be associated with that thread of the rejected email so that you have a, here you can see new email, you see a double envelope. If we click on that really quickly, we'll see that it's associated with the thread. So the PO arrived, acknowledgement, rejection, updated PO from the customer that you see here. And then again, another acknowledgement that the PO arrived. So that shows you a quick a sample of what is possible with our email functionality. I just want to show one more thing, not to get too into the weeds, but if we go into our settings, here you can see the different templates. So you can add or edit templates when you go ahead and reject. I'm going to go ahead and reject just to show you. If you go ahead and go in there and reject, since this is a new one, let's just put something new. And what it's going to allow me to do is save this as a template. So if I find that I'm using the same template over and over, I just send the email and then I click save as template. You name the template, rejected 1, 2, 3, and you save it. And now if you go back to your settings, go to your emails, you will see rejected 1, 2, 3. So now this has been added to my templates. So anytime I pull up an email and I want to if I want to reject an email, you'll see I have my new rejected email here, template. And the beauty of all this is that it can all be automated. Like we talked about earlier, the PO came in, automatic acknowledgement of reception, automatic rejection, the customer sent in the new PO, automatic acknowledgement of the new PO arriving. Thank you very much. That's it for the demo. Again, please feel free to plug in your questions down below and we'll get to answering those.
Super. Thank you, Jason. Okay, for question time, let's answer some of them. And thank you, Marek and Jan. I see that you're already taking some of them. So to remind or maybe to share with those who might have joined later, we will record this presentation. We'll share it later on. So please keep an eye on our YouTube channel. Copy of the presentation will be shared as well. Okay, a couple of requests to maximize the screen. Somebody asked about whether Rossum will store the emails. Rossum will store the email thread. So it's also sort of a paper trail for all the emails that are related for the specific document, but it will not pull the sort of the document thread that was previously stored in your email client. So, okay, what else? How will it link the email if they'll have the same subject line? So the email is actually, because we also have the scan templates that could be used for automation as well. So it's not really connected through the subject line, it's connected through the email address that the document is associated with within Rossum. So I think that was the question from Dana. Manish has a comment that it was very fast. Manish will share the demo and the recording with the walkthrough later on as well, so you could watch it again. I know it was very fast, but this is like quickest automation on the world.
Is there anything you'd like to see more of? I can show more of it.
Yeah, if
is there let's see if they reply.
is the email automation for specific invoices, or is it general for every different invoice? Enrique is asking. So email automation could be set up. It could be set up based on a couple of different triggers. So it's not just the PO number. It could be also set up based on some specific field within a different document. And it also, as I mentioned, you could also utilize some email templates.
Yep. Let me show that really quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, please do.
So we're back in the Rossum dashboard. I'm going to go to my queue settings, go to my emails, scroll down to my templates. I'm going to edit this template. It's just a blank template. So you can set automation on. You can set your trigger. So let's say when a document is received, and then actually, let's say it requires at least one of these fields. And we're going to say PO number. So if it doesn't, actually that goes here. If it doesn't contain a PO number, it'll be rejected. This is going into more detail. We don't need to see that right now. But so if any of these fields are missing, like the PO number, then the email will be rejected. So that's how you set up the triggers. Very simple.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and if you wanted, if people in the audience wanted to see one specific portion once again, feel free
please.
to know. Another comment from Christian. Would be awesome if you could send plain text and or customize the emails to our company templates. So I think this is something that Marek and Jan will be adding to their product map insights for the future. Branding is important, hashtag he's leaving. So cool. What else is here? Able to see that in the screen.
So something we should mention is, yes, it does store the number of activity, and I can show that as well. Are you guys still seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. So in our statistics, we don't have data on this right now, but here you can see how many emails were automatically rejected and how many were manual. And then so you can see what instances causing that same automation to be used. And how you can see that is, so here we see what emails were manually rejected and which were automatic. Over here, back in our dashboard in our queue settings, if you go to our emails, this is a count of how many times this email template was used. So if you see a template that's consistently being used, like a missing PO template, then you can set automation for that instance.
Cool. There's a couple of more questions in the Q&A from Tushar. How would you treat a blanket PO which is issued for a year but invoicing is done month on month? So then, as I mentioned, the automation doesn't have to rely on PO necessarily. It could rely on just different attributes that remain unchanged from invoice to invoice. Or it could also.
Tushar, maybe you can expand. What do you mean? Yeah. How do we treat it? What Rossum is extracting the data. If something is missing, then it can, like, you can set up a trigger to reject it. But if a Rossum isn't invoicing your customer, that would be done likely through your ERP system.
Yeah. All right. So another question from Neil. Does Rossum store the activity of rejection and emails?
Yep. In the statistics? That's the one I just answered. Yep.
Yeah, as well. So this is answered. Let me see what else is in the chat. The same question. Questions from Charlie. Okay, some. Thank you, Marek and Jan, for your very, very quick, swift responses. Is it possible to process the file that I sent to you now? Says Carlos. Carlos, I'm not sure where you sent it, but feel free by all means to reach out after, and we will see. Oh, also you could.
And it was whose name was that? Sorry, I'm not seeing this in the chat.
It's Carlos.
Carlos, you can sign up for a free trial on our website, and you can upload your documents there to see how it works for you. That is just our generic or our standard engine. We have dedicated engines that are trainable on your specific files, but you can try it out with our standard engine on our website. It's a free trial.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Another question from Christian. I believe it was answered. Just for the sake of everybody, what is the confidence score? Is too low on PO number, will it automatically trigger rejection? So Marek answered that the confidence is set to 97.5% for now. If the confidence for missing field is below this threshold, it won't trigger the rejection. So Thanks, Marek, for that. Uh, Go ahead.
Raul, sorry, I was just moving through the questions. We're both doing the same thing. So if the missing field is sent via the email body, so we are working on a solution that should be launched soon, I believe the end of next month, where we will be able to extract the data from the email body. So hopefully we'll see how that solution turns out and we'll be able to better answer that question.
Okay. Somebody's asking if we answered Charlie's question. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the Charlie's question. If Charlie could please resubmit. Okay. Curious what email address this sends from, and do you support DKAIM and SPF validation at the DNS level? So Jason,
when you reply, you mean, Charlie, when you reply out of Rossum, it's going to come from this email. This is customizable right here. The subject line, it's this email that it comes from. So just like you see with other like ticketing services or other automated services, same setup.
Thank you. Andrew is asking, how do you deal with an email with 2 documents and one of them is a supporting doc that does not need capturing? So I believe the answer, yeah, you could filter out certain documents based on more parameters. So we just showed you one specific use case, but then there's different criteria that include file name, extension resolution, and so on.
Yep. So you can sort through documents and yep.
Yeah. Charlie, there's no way to customize the email at this moment, but this is in discussion, and I believe this is also something that Marek is thinking about. So in his roadmap.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah. So you can customize the email. There's no way to customize the sending email. Yeah, the email address. Yes.
The email address on its own. You could customize the subject line, but not necessarily email address in its own.
But I believe Marek, I think they're working on a solution to that. If you can add your logo into the email, there you go. That's.
Thank you. And Marek is answering to the second part of Charlie's question. Yeah, add the logo into email. Let's see. We're smashing these questions today, the 4 of us. I don't think we were ever able to answer them that quickly live. So works. Okay, there was a question about EDI.
Yep.
Already answered, but there is an extension. Yes, Rossum does support EDI documents, specifically Edifact and X12. Question from Carlo, can Rossum extract various data from a PDF? Yes, such as fields and tables, and relate them to each other. So it would be possible to extract them into an Excel or extract data via an API web service. Yes, and yes.
Yes.
Okay, more questions about the support. How much logic is possible when it comes to missing fields? For example, a utility company will likely never provide a PO. Nevertheless, you must pay their invoice and handle differently in the ERP. Can you tag some suppliers to handle in a different manner? Question from Jennifer.
Yep. So that's kind of what I showed when I was saying going into more detail. You can specify. Oh, it's not on. You can specify, like, let's say you want to send a certain, any fields missing. You want it to trigger if it's missing like a PO number, but you want to exclude vendors that contain, for example, ComEd. So if Rossum identifies that the vendor is ComEd, it will not trigger the rejection.
Cool. Okay, there's a comment from Marek. You can actually customize the email address domain as well, but you lose some email features, for instance, two-way communication. So that happens on the platform. But we want to add full support for customization email domain soon. So yeah, this is definitely on the roadmap, and sharing that you might find it useful definitely helps. Dwayne says, I don't believe you understood the blanket question. The company will issue a PO to one of the vendors that the vendor B can bill against all year. It might be a monthly invoice, weekly, or 7 times a year.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, that was Michael Dwayne who's typed that out.
Yeah, Lots of systems won't allow more than one invoice per PO as it impacts straight through processing.
So Rossum, yeah, so Rossum can split the documents. So you can have multiple invoices within a single document. And we can automatically split the documents and process them separately. I hope that answers the question. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Another question from Carlo, and thank you, Michael. He would like to know if data extraction would be made by AI, or we can also program data extraction, and how.
Carlo, can you please clarify? I think it's a good question, but I'm not sure I understand.
I think that, yeah, if we're talking about data instruction, just like on its own, this is AI powered. But when it comes to certain automations, it's a combination of rule-based automation with different settings, and that you could also have full control of by setting the confidence scores, by allowing automation to go through or not allowing to go through. So you have control over your automation. And if certain things are done within the Rossum platform by the AI, it does not mean that you don't have control over the outcome. Okay, monthly invoicing is just fine in Rossum, comment by Marek. Another question from Manish, is the identification only based on the sender's email address or text in the PO or invoice?
I think, no. Sorry, Marek can answer. Yeah, or John. Identification of a sender in regards.
So identification of the sender in regards to email is based on the sender's email address. And Mark comments that the rejection logics on top of extracted data can be built on data from data matching or other extension as well. So I believe we answered that. Let me see if there's something in the Q&A box. I think everything is answered here. Really good pace on those questions.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Yeah, I believe we're through mostly. Let's see. If somebody wants
anyone,
yes,
I was gonna say, if someone didn't get their question answered, please copy paste it or answer it again. We're sorry we missed it, but
perfect. Well, okay, I think we are almost at the bottom of the hour. We will definitely see and go through the chat again and see if we missed anything by chance and follow up in case that there are some unanswered questions, but I believe we're mostly through. And we're also at the bottom of the hour. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. There's last question from Enrique if we want to take that. Regarding, yeah.
Regarding sometimes. If I understand correctly, no, you do not. Rossum should be able to identify and extract that data without much effort on your end. Yes, it should be able to extract both. If you want to email me, I can put you in touch with someone who can answer that question more specifically. Maybe someone in our sales department, or I'd recommend trying out the free trial. Enrique, let's see if I have your contact information. I can reach out to you after the. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We'll let you go. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being so active in the questions. I hope that we were able to address most of them. Of course, as I mentioned, feel free to always reach out to us if you have any other additional questions, or if you want some sort of guidance on the specific use case that you might have. You have our contact details here. We're always happy to hear from you, and our team always wants to know your opinion and what else you would like to see in Rossum in the coming sprints. So thanks again. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye. Thanks, Maya. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
Bye-bye.